Alright, so the year is anything pre-2017, I guess you could say, and the top hoopers ranked by ESPN coming out of high school actually care to play college basketball. With the reason being not just because they have to go to the NBA, but also because they want that NCAA March Madness run that some huge NBA talents have done in the past. Jordan, Wade, Melo, Davis. A couple of them even winning the Ultimate Trophy. Must I mention Kemba's run with UConn? Several examples. But in the minds of those working in the business aspect of the NCAA, you would think it's every young basketball talent's dream to experience something like this while entering the pros. But no. Reality check. The NCAA's unfavorable policies with too little reforms too slowly is losing its ability to hypnotize top athletes with NBA talent to actually choose them over the growing trend of just going overseas, or what I'm going to be talking about today, the G League's pro pathway. And trust, it's only going to get worse. Now, before I get too much further into the video, yes, the title and thumb may highlight Jalen Green as if he's doing this alone or just has oh so almighty impact that his decision to skip school is going to be the NCAA's downfall, but nah, it's definitely been more than just him, and all those details plus more will be explained in this vid, along with why I think college hoops is only going to become less and less popular in the coming years. But before I get too far into it, man, if you're new, subscribe if you think Jalen Green could be the #1 pick in the 2021 draft class. Sub up. I post some quality hoops content twice a week, and honestly, we've grown more than usual after my last 2 vids. So bro, thank you to all the new ones. For real, we steady going up. I'm gonna keep pushing our bangers. But back to the G League's chosen one. It's no secret that Jalen Green decided to skip college and committed to the Pro Pathway program earlier this year. And just to give y'all a light rundown on what the Pro Pathway with the G League is, it's basically a year of training and development regarding things on the court, of course, but also off the court with life skills, money management, valuable stuff school doesn't really teach you. But yeah, the Pro Pathway is basically one team made up of all these young players with potential. They're not just signed to some random G League teams. They don't even really play a full season, as they will play just 20 games but will earn $125,000, and that number is not including the money they can make off sponsorships or their likeness. So they really get into the bag. But yeah, also not to mention they do not lose their eligibility to go to college after the program, which the NCAA also allows, but just recently changed the rule back in 2018. And as long as they've been running, the amount of tardiness for a policy like this is pretty embarrassing. So yeah, the Pro Pathway program sounds amazing and exactly what a highly ranked basketball player with tons of hype, such as Jalen Green, would choose over having to go to school for another year, no questions asked. And this is exactly what he did, because he was the first of all the current Pro Pathway commits to make their choice on the matter. And bro, what does that tell you? It just wasn't that hard of a decision for him at all. And this is a big deal because he is the #1 ranked hooper coming out of high school. Come on, I don't even need to say too much. 6'5" shooting guard, super athletic, nice handle, averaged 31.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 5 assists as a senior, a prolific prep, and even led the team to a grind session championship. Like, just a great high school career. And if you're the NCAA, I won't lie, this is a loss you could take, but it's definitely not ideal, y'all. Just 2 years ago in 2018, Zion was the 2nd ranked coming out of high school. And not to compare Jalen to Zion, but I'm just showing how far off this really goes. Not to mention, Zion basically didn't even really have this opportunity because this new G League program / team was just created in 2018 and had little to no notoriety. To be real, I'm sure most of us did not hear of it until Jalen's announcement. Like, just imagine being in Zion's position, choosing Duke, very prolific, established school, over like coming out of high school G League. I'm going to the developmental league. So yeah, it just wasn't even really thought about. It would probably be considered a joke, but after Jalen's announcement, he's really put them on the map, and I'm gonna get into all the ones that followed. But moving on, those who are in favor of the NCAA or are just super unbiased on this type of topic, maybe like, oh, one player is not enough to shake the league. This is partially true. Look at LaMelo Ball overseas, Illawarra Hawks, instead of college hoops. I won't lie, this is partially true because NCAA did pretty good without LaMelo this year, who was easily the most hyped up athlete in the draft right now. They had other nice players in Cole Anthony, Anthony Edwards, Obi Toppin. You could even say James Wiseman, even though he and the NCAA had their differences. But see, to me, it's different this time because the rest of the Pro Pathway team also features other top recruits like, boom, top 5 Jonathan Kuminga, who was the most recent to make his decision as he struggled between choosing the pathway or Texas Tech to play with his brother. But even his family ties, y'all, could not blind him from the opportunity the G League offers. Then you got Isaiah Todd, 6'9" power forward, who's top 15. Then you got Deshaun Nix, 6'3" point guard, top 25, who also struggled with his decision at first as he had to decommit from UCLA to join this pro pathway program. But yeah, finally you got Kai Soto, 7'1" center, who's top 60. So yeah, these are all players with real NBA potential and will all likely be drafted in the 2021 draft. On the other hand, though, I won't pretend the coming NCAA season doesn't feature some nice, hyped up names y'all probably heard of in number 2 ranked in the country, Cade Cunningham, to Josh Christopher, Mercure Maker, who does something very rare by signing with an HBCU and Howard University as a 5-star recruit. Should clap it up for him. But at the end of the day, we've seen big names go to schools and just get screwed over by the system, just be struggling to establish a career in the NBA. Look at Trayvon Duval, who went to Duke, came out of high school ranked number 6 in the nation, all for him to currently be struggling to establish a career. Even though he did face injuries, poor development was also a big factor to me. And that one word, development, is really the focal point of the G League. So honestly, when it comes to the future of the NCAA and its success, it really all depends on how well this new pro pathway program turns out. If every select team member goes in the draft and maybe even all in the first round with impressive leaks on what goes on in the day-to-day life as a part of the program, then no doubt you can expect more and more high school recruits to view this option more seriously and maybe even take up on the offer, because trust and believe, they're seeing this, they're watching it. I mean, just for example, Bronny James, he may just be a sophomore with a less impressive freshman season in the eyes of many, but he did play for a 5-star team in Sierra Canyon and still had pretty good production off the bench. But scratch all that, man. I'm not turning this into a Bronny analysis. Point is, he's on the path to eventually going into the NBA, and we already know how vocal Bron has been about the poor NCAA policies, corruption, what seems to be exploitation. So yeah, with this potential pro pathway, and I'm mentioning this pretty late, but also the possible ability for players to go straight to the NBA out of high school at age 18, once again, by the time another highly anticipated athlete such as Bronny or even earlier Amani Bates would graduate, just provides more competition for the NCAA and speeds up the organization's eventual demise. But yeah, before I end this video off, man, I just see so much that could come out. The new G League team led by Jalen Green. So I ain't even mean to rhyme. That junk is cringy. But yeah, at a quick glance, it's just hooping, getting paid, and getting trained by those in direct contact with the NBA. That makes it sound simple, but that's really basically it. No hidden traps as far as I'm aware. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how this actually pans out, because as much as I'm already praising the program, it could still flop and lead to the very unfortunate continued domination of top talented prospects coming out of high school by the NCAA. But anyway, currently there is no specific date for when we know this program or games action will hit, but I expect it to be sometime around the actual NBA's return in October. But yeah, that's it for me, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Like it up, sub up if you're new, share it, all that. Let's keep growing, and I'm out.